may have heard of Gremlins from the 1984 Hollywood movie. Today, we may think of them as mythical creatures that were created and adapted on screen. But did you know that gremlins may, in fact, be real? Back in World War II, many pilots and aircraft members blamed gremlins to have caused their aircrafts to fail. From strange and mysterious beings that were on flights to equipment failures, gremlins were cited for unexplained aircraft problems. They were described as miniature imps or gnomes that were no taller than about 1 foot tall. They would wear old clothing like that of Robin Hood, but looked almost demonic with devilish eyes and beast-like snout, pointy ears, and horns. Their bodies would be covered in scales, with their skin all gray and rubbery. Their name derives from gremlin, or to vex, and love to destroy aircrafts. Because of the size of these gremlins, they could easily remove bolts and screws to maliciously rip apart the aircraft. They caused malfunctions in aircrafts while the pilot was on board, and the very first documented gremlin was dated back in the late 1910s. The royal forces called these creatures malicious sprites, and slowly they became more and more popular. Moreover, many pilots started stepping out of the shadows to claim that they saw small creatures on their planes messing with the plane's gears, and things would go wrong shortly after. Rare occurrences like electrical failure or broken communications started popping up. Soon enough, they were reported frequently to higher ranking officers. As the war progressed, many forces, too, agreed that there were strange things going on with their aircrafts. For example, when the Americans arrived to help out with the war, they experienced similar disturbing problems with their aircrafts. They described gremlins in the same form and the same way as the British did. However, gremlins are not always trying to harm you. One of the most well-known stories revolves around the aviator called Charles Lindbergh. Back in 1927, he began a non-stop journey to Paris when he was struck by multiple gremlins on top of his aircraft. They spoke to him in navigational terms, thus showing their knowledge in aircraft mechanics. And instead of destroying his aircraft, they helped him get across the seas from New York to Paris safely. Could gremlins have their own unique personalities like us humans? Why would they destroy aircrafts during the World War but help Charles Lindbergh travel safely? Or could they all just be a myth? We know them today mainly because of the author Roald Dahl had his own misfortunes of running into gremlins back in 1942. His plane had mysteriously failed on him while in flight, and he crash-landed in the Libyan or Western Desert of Egypt. When the war ended, he wrote a novel about his experience, and slowly his novel on gremlins soon became published, and the popularity of gremlins rose. There are numerous accounts of gremlins messing around with aircrafts and pilots, especially during World War II. Could this be because of human conflict and that gremlins are trying to stop war from above land. Why did the number of sightings go down as the war stopped? We know that the gremlins helped Charles Lindbergh during his flight, but completely wrecked the aircrafts during the war, so this could be a possibility. Also, why are there no accounts of gremlins on ground? They could not have simply vanished into thin air. Or can they? There are many questions that are mysterious, yet have no answers. Do you believe in gremlins?